Hi, my name is Lori, and today I come to you with a question. Where is Europe? Do you know? Do you know what one place has been Europe since the creation of Europe 2,500 years ago? In Greece, in the 5th century before Christ, some philosophers got together and decided to name things because, why not? Everybody has to have a hobby, right? So they decided for Europe, Asia, and Libya. Now, the whole thing was the same landmass, but why not? And interestingly enough, Europe is agreed to have the root word Arab, which is Phoenician and means that place out there. So the definition of Europe is like that place over there that is not here. And also its root is like a Semitic word, so it's a Middle Eastern concept, Europe. Interesting enough, Greece wasn't Europe for 2,500 years. It was Byzantium for like the longest time, and it was also like part of the Ottoman Empire for like a bunch of time too. Let's say France. France was the Gauls, was exo-Roman Empire for the longest time too. Spain was Al-Andalus, which was the Caliphate, and it was also Sepharad, which was basically the same place from the Jewish case, from the Jewish point of view. And Germany was literally like those barbarians over there who keep fighting the Roman Empire, and they basically like drove Marcus Aurelius to defeat and death. So not Germany, not Austria, not the Nordics. I mean, like, no, they were these faraway place that with starving people, and they were Vikings, and they just weren't Europe. Not even the British Isles, which also were exo-empire for the longest time. It's just they weren't considered part of like, civilization, let's say, because the thing about Europe is like, it's this ideal of civilization that everybody should adopt and that it's like better than everybody, but it doesn't exist. It's never been in one particular place. It keeps changing, so nobody knows how they're supposed to be because they're supposed to be European. And what is this like Europeanness that we keep talking about? Is it Italy? Well, Italy was the center of the Roman Empire. And interestingly enough, during the Byzantium era, Byzantium was like the civilized part of the world. And Rome was for centuries like in decay and disarray. And also like today, Europeans are like, especially like more northern Europeans are like, is Italy really like Europe? Are we gonna let Italy hang out with us? Maybe don't like, I don't know, don't invite them to the after party, but don't tell them. But yeah. And when the European Union was formed, a bunch of European places weren't included at first, including Greece, because like they took the longest time because they were too poor, like Ireland, like Spain, like Portugal, because it turns out like Europeanness flails when your checks bounce. So you're European today as long as you have a good economy. If you have a bad economy, it doesn't matter that you created Europe. You're not gonna be European. And what's funny is like to include these countries, the European Union decided to do like tax exempt havens, like it did for a while, like in Ireland, creating incentives for like tech companies and stuff. But the incentives were like, bring your companies here, pay less taxes, and support Europe. And that way, your currency and your country gets weaker and we get stronger. Of course, journalists and the UN and everybody framed it differently, but that's literally what it was. It was Europe saying, we are not gonna like support these European people. You will. And why do we support the European Union? Well, because we don't want Germany to start another war. Because that's the origin of the European Union, like the a treaty of coal and steel between, I think, France and Germany. I don't remember correctly because I haven't studied these since I was like 12 years old. My daddy was an internationalist, but that's like the whole point. And it's a beautiful, beautiful project. But it's not like these like perfect ideal that we all should be like obsessed about pursuing, because first of all, it doesn't exist. There's not such a thing as Europe. There's not such a thing as a European place of like betterness. We are the better. We in the Americas are the better, but also just you, wherever you are in the world, you are the better. There's no betters. And the sad thing is, somebody in Europe, in like rural France or whatever, is being told, you're not European enough. And so Europeans are also like in their €1,000 salary, pursuing this like dream of being European enough that just doesn't exist. There's no Europeanness. Like each country is a different culture, and it doesn't exist. So don't fret over it. Don't fight over it. Don't stress yourself over it. There's no betters. You are the better. Whatever your grandparents taught you, that's the better. Whatever is in your heart, that's the better. The better is not out there in Paris or in London or in New York. Unless you are in Paris or in London or in New York. Because these made-up ideals are not the better. And if your own identity relies on Europe, then you're losing the opportunity of being yourself. And you're allowed to be you, not to be Europe. And why be something somebody thought of when they were born 2,500 years ago? I mean, if you're that bored that you're going to use that concept, maybe make up something new. Some guys got together and decided for Europe, Asia, Libya. What are you going to choose? What are you going to choose that's going to define the next 2,500 years? You can use the old story, but you don't have to. And if you do it because you want to, not because you think there's a better. Because there's no better. The better is you. And I love you.